Hello, everybody. Hello, YouTube. Hello, art history enthusiasts and visual culture aficionados. It's me again, Miss M, and I'm back with yet another video. I promised you, I think it's in my community tab, that I'm gonna do another Kill Bill installment, and today we're gonna talk about some serious business with Hanzo-san, right? Hattori Hanzo and his infamous swords in the world of this movie, right? I can't wait to do this one. It should. Let me not. I was about to make a promise once again that I'm going to make it shorter than usual. No, 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 no. Never mind that. Pretend you didn't hear that. Um, but it's a shorter. It's not a very long segment of the movie. It's chapter 4. Oh, remember the number 4? That I think is very important in this movie, whether it takes the form of just a straight up number 4 or a 13 in 1 plus 3 equals 4. Anyway, this chapter is called The Man, in all caps, M-A-N, all caps, from Okinawa. And Okinawa is all caps. Interesting, eh? They didn't capitalize O-Ren's name. No. They capitalized man, Okinawa, bride, and then down here, L. Interesting. However, let me get into it. Yeah, we're going to do this today. I did, yesterday, I did the intro for the Art Crime, the Denver Museum thing, which I cannot wait to get into, but I didn't want to just do it right away the next day, so I'm going to save it for tomorrow. I'm going to read, and I've still got these open because I'm afraid they're going to take them away from me. Unmasking the Scholar, the Colorado woman who helped a global art smuggling operation flourish for decades. I'm going to get to that tomorrow. I wanted to do something a little bit more fun tonight, and you all, please stick around. Maybe I should just go ahead and initiate the church announcements. Before I do my little spiel, I'm going to tell you, stick around, you guys. Stick around until the end of the video. I might have a little surprise or two for you. Special stuff. If you want access to it, if you want a link, you're going to have to email me. Maybe email me. I don't know. Should I have you email me or just comment? I don't know. Or or DM me on Twitter, or I have no idea. I don't know how I'm going to work this out, but I'm going to flash them for you. And if you can figure it out on your own, good for you. But stick around until the end of this movie. Like I said, I've got a little treat for you. And now let me do my church announcements. My real church announcements. Returning viewers, thank you for returning. New viewers, thank you for being new. Subscribers, all 337 of you, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate all of you so much. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video if you know somebody who might enjoy my nonsense. And speaking of these subscribers and my subscriber count, you know that my channel growth, if you've been riding with me since February of last year, you know my channel growth is painfully slow, but I will not be deterred. So I keep on, trucking along. And what I've noticed, for those of you who are watching who, you have your own channel and you're trying to promote or build or whatever for your own channel, I've tried everything that, every in tutorial that I've read or whatever on how to build up numbers and how to build up subscribers and whatever. None of it works. Okay, I tried doing the Twitter thing, it didn't work. I tried doing the Instagram thing, it didn't work. And I just keep making videos. Yeah, I do Twitter, I do Instagram sporadically. I'm not dedicated to it like I should be. Maybe I should just put in a little bit more effort. But those of you who have channels who want to grow them, what I have found actually seems to be working. I don't know how or why, but it just does. When I do a community post, okay, if you can do community posts, do them. I don't know how I got this feature. Yeah, I don't even have like 500 yet. I got this feature like way before I got to this number 337. But every time, you guys, whoever it is that's listening who wants to maybe try and build up their channel a little bit better, the subscriber count, every single time that I do a community post, my subscriber numbers go up a little bit. Like, the subscriber numbers will be totally nothing for like a week or two. Like, it won't grow at all. And even if I make a video, doesn't matter. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I don't know. And then, the fancy takes me to do a community post, like, just this little nonsense that I do here. And I don't get a whole lot of likes. I don't get a whole lot of comments. But for whatever reason, I do a community post and my subscriber numbers go up like, 3, 4, 5, 6 subscribers, like virtually overnight or over the next couple of days. And I'm not making videos. All I did was do a community post. So try that out. If you have the time or the patience or whatever to do it. It might work. I don't know. Just try it. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Like, I know people overthink this. I sure don't. Look at my videos. This is not organized. This is not planned. This is not, I don't use a script. Some people have like made rude comments about that. I don't do an outline. I don't do notes. This is all straight from the dome. I just switch on my recorder and start talking and showing you on the screen what I want you to see. And that's that. And that's probably why my subscriber counts are so low. But, que sera, sera. I'm going to do my thing my way. And eventually I know I'm going to get to 1,000 one day. But I know, like, some of my friends that I've made, I communicate with them on Twitter, Instagram DMs, emails, whatever. If, try it. Try it and see what happens. Yeah, it doesn't have to be fancy. Just like this one here. Kind of announcing this video that you're watching now. Then I did, just a repost of somebody else's video of a Faith No More song that I'm really into lately. The Gentle Art of Making Enemies, from the King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime album. Love this song. And I tagged some of my good friends here. More videos soon. And I hope you guys got the joke. Like, if you listen to this song, like Tancred, Anno, Exorcist Reviews, I hope you got the joke and you listen to this song. I think you know what I'm talking about. Look at the lyrics. Go find the lyrics of this song and you'll see what I mean. If you don't already know what I mean, my goodness. I'm just too much sometimes, and I'm sorry about that. But like I said, I'm back. And with the Kill Bill stuff, I left off here, right? We've been introduced to O-Ren and the origin of O-Ren. And like I said here, flashback to Lady Snowblood. Which one of them is Lady Snowblood? Is it Uma Thurman's character, Beatrix? Or is it O-Ren Ishii? Is she Lady Snowblood? Or, maybe both of them. Maybe like every person that's on Beatrix's kill list, she has something in common with that person. And like I said, maybe when she is slaying each person on her list as she as it ascends in each character, it gets more vicious and more difficult to kill or whatever. She's not just killing that person or that character, she's killing that aspect of herself. She's gonna be, like I said, she's gone through, tongue-tied, throughout Volume 1 and Volume 2. She goes through 2 deaths and resurrections, not just 1, 2. Like I said, she wakes up from a coma, okay? Kind of like Sleeping Beauty. Didn't cover that, didn't say that in the part of the series where I talk about that in that video, The Blood Splattered Bride. I think that's the chapter that where we see her in the hospital, and there's Buck, and there's Buck's customer, and the whole thing. It's like Sleeping Beauty. She's Sleeping Beauty, and Buck's customer leans in to like try and kiss her, but she's already woken up. She's just playing dead at that point. And what wakes her up is a mosquito bite. Is that a form of a kiss? I don't know. But there's like way too many similarities with Sleeping Beauty, at least in that part of the movie. And then here we go again with this number 13, right? This is from a video. And then she gets her feet to work. She gets her legs to work. She gets out of the back seat of Buck's truck. She gets in the front street, and she tears out of that parking lot. Okay? She tears the hell out of that parking lot. And, she is on a mission. She has vermin to kill. And we're going to see that in this part of the movie. Here we are again, 13 hours later, right? And where is the thing? Where is the thing? Okay, and here she is ordering her ticket, her one-way ticket to Okinawa, Japan. And look at that. This is interesting. This is the counter. This is the lady at the airport. I don't know what airport. Is it LAX? Is it somewhere in Texas, El Paso? I don't know. But what I wanted to draw your attention to in this particular shot, in this frame of the movie, is not the lady, but look at behind the lady. O. Okay, so she's on her way to dispatch O-Ren Ishii. O-Ren Ishii lives in Japan, in Tokyo, I think. Just check this out. Arrow, that's a cute little word. That's a cute little play on words like arrow, A-R-R-O-W, but here it's arrow. And that's not why they made this. This is not just a play on like an airline company's name. It sounds exactly the same as the word arrow. And an arrow is, well, a weapon. It's this too. You guys, I wanted to show you this. Look, this is the symbol for mail, right? This thing with the cross at the bottom. I don't know what it's called. Oh, wait. Oh. Hold up. I don't know. I'm gonna save this for some other time, but I don't have that kind of time, and I don't want to waste your time with that. But you can look this up. You can, gender symbols and whatever. They seem to be very popular lately. In a way that they've never been before, at least it seems to me. But this one on the left with the cross at the bottom, that's the symbol for female. And this one on the right with the arrow pointing up and to the right, that's the symbol for male. And that is what the logo for this fictional airline company, Arrow, looks like in the movie. Or it's very strongly reminiscent of that. Okay, so what we're doing here, I told you that we're dealing with like some serious symbolism, serious business, as Hattori would say. She's on a journey to arm herself. Okay, so in the beginning of the movie, we see her lying in a coma in the hospital. And then chapter 1, she deals with Vernita. Okay, and Vernita is number 2. Vernita is not number 1. Vernita is number 2. Okay, meaning she's the second person on Beatrix's kill list. Why we see her kill the second person first, I have to think about that. I don't understand that quite very well yet, but it's obviously significant. So Vernita is number 2, the green one, the envious one. Chapter 2, the blood-splattered bride. We see basically the aftermath of the massacre at Two Pines. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's ugly. It's ugly. And she spits. She's covered in blood. I point out that the whole church and everything in it is made of wood. Very important. Please go ahead and review those videos if you want me if you want to hear what I have to say about that. I've done chapter 3, The Origin of O-Ren, and O-Ren is the most feminine person on the kill list. O-Ren is actually number 1 on the kill list. Okay? She's not number 2. Renita is number 2. O-Ren is number 1. But, we see the origin of O-Ren, how O-Ren got to be O-Ren. How O-Ren got to be who and what she is, like the abuse and the pain and the horrible stuff that O-Ren suffered as a child, and the kind of people that she was exposed to, and what happened to her parents, and, what contributed to her becoming who she is, this character in the movie, what she had to endure in order to become a woman who ascends the ranks of the Yakuza and becomes the leader of all the clans of the Yakuza. So, a lot of pain went into that. And again, she's the most feminine, the softest, the prettiest, the most seemingly gentle. No, not really. And then we go to the man from Okinawa. Okay, so we have to visit Hattori Hanzo before chapter 5, before Beatrix can go to the House of the Blue Leaves and deal with, first of all the crazy 88s and Gogo Yugari or Yubari, I'm not sure, and then finally get to O-Ren and whatever. First, she needs to go see Hattori Hanzo, the man from Okinawa. Okinawa is a military base. Okinawa is pretty well known, even for somebody like me. A place like Okinawa is more or less synonymous with military and war and weaponry and yeah. So she's going there. That's where Hattori lives, and that's where she needs to go to get her Hanzo sword. Okay? And that sword is extremely important, and we shall see why. Okay? I might be taking a break pretty soon. Not that you'll notice, but just wanted to let you know. So she gets a one-way ticket to Okinawa on Aero. Okay. Why does it have to be a one-way ticket? Because like a two-way ticket or like a round-trip ticket, I don't know, it just seems like a round trip is just recycling, right? You come back the same person that you were when you take a round trip ticket to somewhere, or a round trip flight or whatever. But when you take a one-way ticket, that implies a certain sense of permanence. Whatever happens during your trip, with your one-way ticket to wherever, it's going to change you in a way that's pretty fundamental, and it will change something that's pretty fundamental to who you are. Either change it or completely eliminate it. And that's what I believe happens with Beatrix's character while she's in Japan and she goes through whatever she goes through. First she has to get her ticket, Aero, and also check out again the lady here in this adorable outfit for this ticket sales lady. But also look at this behind her. So there's the Aero on the right side, like I said, this symbol, the one on the right, the symbol for maleness. And then on the left, behind this lady's head, what are these figurines? What are these statues? I think they're lions. And what's a lion? Basically, hold on, let me go back to my community page. This is good. I don't do notes, but I do this. All right, hold on. I was just looking at it today, too, like I was going over my community posts. I'm quite proud of them. But, I know it's here. Come on now. This is one of my favorites, Stanley's signature. And this cake, too. I wish I knew how to make this. But this, you guys, this is what I put on one of my when I was doing chapter 2. And I said, I didn't say this, I just put up this picture that's been making the rounds on the internet, on social media, whatever. It says peace was never an option. And it's these two adorable kitty cats. And they are, whoever owns them, put them in this tank made of cardboard. And I assume that the cannon is like, a used up paper towel cylinder and whatever. Peace was never an option. And why did I put this here? Because they're cats. Okay, so like, what did I say? What's a lion? A lion? No. A lion is just a big kitty. Just a really, really big, ferocious, carnivorous kitty. Okay? And just keep that in mind, right? Keep that. Peace was never an option. Peace was never an option for Beatrix. It never was. The second she woke up. The second she woke up from her 4-year coma in that hospital in El Paso, and her body was being sold by that grimy, sleazy, horrible buck and whatever, and the Vaseline jar and the whole thing, and the mosquito. Like, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. No more parasites. No more anything or anyone taking advantage of her and sucking her blood, her life force. No, she said no. No, peace was never an option. The second she woke up, peace was never an option. So these kitty cats, these lions over here, they're important to the story, and they're making, Quentin, I swear to God, I don't care who has what to say. I am resolute in my opinion that nothing in movies like this is there by chance. Tankard, how you doing? I think Tankard and I are on the same page regarding that. There's no such thing. This is not real life. This is a movie. This is a very highly controlled environment. And especially with a director like Quentin Tarantino. Love him or hate him. Like him or, you're ambivalent or whatever. Or somebody like Stanley Kubrick. Or somebody like Alfred Hitchcock. Or somebody like, a Steven Spielberg or whoever. They don't leave anything to chance. They don't. And every object, item, thing that you see in these movies is there because whoever made the movie wanted you to see it. And they wanted you to see it because it's telling part of the story without using words, without using action even. It's just a part of the background, like these kitty cats. And this thing on the right here, the arrow, like I said. We're going into male territory with this trip to Okinawa. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so she got her ticket. The Man from Okinawa, that's the title card. Okay, and there's no sound on this. There's no, none of that. Okay, the island of Okinawa, Japan. I don't know Japanese. I don't know what these characters mean on the curtain here. So if I have any of my viewers and or listeners who speak Japanese or know how to read Japanese characters, please let me know. Please let me know. I don't know very much at all about Japanese culture. I wish I did because it's gorgeous and beautiful and I'm fascinated by it. I have Japanese friends, and a Japanese friend actually, was it for Christmas last year, gave me the biggest bottle of sake I've ever seen in my life. And I've and I have yet to open it. I want to enjoy it properly, but I don't quite know how to do that. So any suggestions, let me know. I've got a big ass bottle of sake in the cupboard, and I'm going to cherish it because it's big and beautiful and it's Japanese. And love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. But if you know Japanese, please let me know what these characters say on the curtain. I would appreciate that so much. So here we are. Beatrix has arrived in Okinawa, Japan, and she's here. And here he is, right? Here he is, Hattori Hanzo. And then he's reading the newspaper. This is his sushi shop. And let's just analyze this here. Okay? Let's just analyze this here. I don't know Japanese. I assume this is Japanese because we're in Japan. I mean, I think that's a safe assumption to make. I try not to assume too many things, but I think that's okay for me to assume. There's these characters here. I don't know what they say. I look at the clock. It is, if I'm not mistaken, it's the same time as the background of Hattori in this shot. I don't think this is actually a part of the movie. It's just like, Sunny Chiba just having fun and posing for the camera. But it's what? It's 120? 120? Is it 121? What do you guys think? Tell me. Is it 121? Here, same time on the clock. So obviously this clock is not working. It's just there for the movie. But the time is important. She is here, from what I can tell, in the afternoon. Okay, so it's after midday. It's 1, and if this is 121, y'all, you know why I'm obsessed with that. 121, 1 plus 2 plus 1 equals, yeah, 4. 1 plus 2 plus 1 equals 4. So this movie, there's a lot of death going on in this movie. And I don't mean just when she kills people. No, there's all kinds of death. Death of ideas, death of bad decisions or character traits or just dealing with it. There's maybe ego death. Maybe, the something about her is perishing. Maybe it's not being slayed. Maybe it is. I don't know. Every time she kills one of these people, she's killing an aspect of herself that is unsavory, unfavorable. But if this is 121 on the clock, that's important. Okay. And then what else do we have here? We have these lamps from the ceiling, the counter where people sit, I guess, and have their sushi. Behind the counter, there's this rack of knives. And please don't forget, if you've already seen this movie, and I figure you already have, because why would you be here if you haven't? This is the greatest sword maker that's ever made any sword ever on planet Earth in the history of the world. And this is his knife collection for cutting up raw fish. And then there's a picture here on the wall behind the counter in the sushi shop. Actually, there's 2 of them. One is up here and one is down here. And both of them are pictures of fish. And both of them are pictures of fish that are framed by wood, but not an ordinary frame with nice clean edges and square angles. No, these are sticks. These are sticks of wood that are framing the fish. Okay? That is extremely important. I know. You don't have to believe me, y'all. You don't have to believe me when I say such and such is important or such and such is like a thing or they're playing with symbolism in such and such way. No, you don't have to believe me. But at least, consider it, But see for yourself. As I go along, it will become clear to you. And then look at this place. Everything seems to be made of wood. Like this counter is made of wood. These chairs, for the stools for the counter, to sit at the counter, they're made of wood. Like I said, the frames for the fish pictures, made of wood. This clock, I don't know, is it made of wood? Hold on. Looks like it is. Looks like it is. And whatever is written on this behind his head in the characters and the Japanese, the frame, like many frames are, is also made of wood. So the handles, oh look, the handles of these knives that he uses to prepare the sushi, they're made of wood. And I mean, I guess you might say, oh, of course they're made of wood. That's what knife handles are made of. Not always. Not always. And then look at this also. Hold on. Okay, so this is the long one, and he's taken it from here. What was I going to say? These strips on the wall that keep the knives in place are magnetic. That means they're made of metal. Okay? So we have wood everywhere, wooden bar stools, wooden picture frames for the fish and whatever it says here, wooden frame for the clock. Lots of wood. And then this over to the right, I don't know what this is. You see this here that I'm moving my cursor over it. I don't know what that is. Is it a fireplace? Is it just some kind of decoration for the wall? I don't know. But you know what it looks a lot like? Fish scales. And we happen to be in a sushi shop, so but that I don't think that's the only reason why these things that look like fish scales are on the wall. We have this little refrigerator, and then in the back over here is the kitchen, I guess, where they prepare the tea and warm the sake, and and he's reading a newspaper. His back is to the viewer, and the viewer happens to be Beatrix. This is from her perspective when she walks in to Hattori's sushi shop. And then she comes in and she says hello, and he says he's happy to see her. He's happy to have a customer. Doesn't look like he has really too many customers. Oh, and this fish scale thing is on the left here too, as you can see. I don't know what this is above the fish scales. This over here on the left, no clue, no idea. But the fish scales, they're here and they're here. And here is Sanichiba, Hattori Hanzo. He's very happy to greet Beatrix. I guess this sushi shop doesn't have too many customers. Eh? Let's move on. Here she is. Again, looking like a college student, some, dumb young kid, coming to Japan to travel, whatever. And again, we see the rest of the restaurant from Hattori's perspective now. There are tables and chairs, but there's also this bar, and there's more of this, this molding, I guess, on the wall that resembles fish scales. So I guess it goes all over the walls, all three of the walls. Okay, and this website that I'm using, it has subtitles for people who are hard of hearing. And she walks in, and this is the dialogue. Welcome to Aero, yeah, Okinawa, one day, hi. And she walks in and she says hi, and I think Hattori says welcome, and he says, you English? And she says, almost American. And I'm sorry they're repeated, I don't know how to fix this. And Hattori says, American, welcome, American. And she says, domo. And she says it like kind of clumsily, even though her character can speak Japanese quite well. And Hattori says, my English is very good. And he says, you said domo. Can you speak Japanese? And she says, no, just a few words I learned since yesterday. So she's playing dumb. Beatrix is playing dumb. Not just dumb, but like dumb blonde. For whatever reason, she feels that putting on this act for Hattori Hanzo is appropriate for whatever it is that she's trying to accomplish. In this part of the movie, in the chapter 4, the chapter of death, the man from Okinawa, she can't just come out and tell him who she is and why she's there. She's there because she knows who he is, and she's there because she needs the very best, the finest fine sword ever made on planet Earth by the best sword maker ever on planet Earth. She can't just come out and say that, so she has to play this little game. So she walks in, she's blonde, she's American, and she says, this is why I'm down here in the subtitles, or the, whatever it's called, closed captioning. I'm not, no subtitles. And she says, may I sit at the bar? Okay. Now, I don't know if this is accurate. Somebody told me this, so I'm going to take this person's word for it. But apparently, in Japanese culture, kind of like American culture, maybe like over a century ago, it's just not okay for women to sit at the bar. Sitting at the bar is just for men. And that's why she maybe asks him, may I sit at the bar? Interesting. And I've also heard that, like, again, correct me if I'm wrong. I was told by a friend that Japanese people just really don't like blonde hair. Okay? Really don't like blonde hair. And she has blonde hair, undeniably blonde hair. And she's asking to sit at the bar, which is considered like a big no-no. And Hattori is like, oh, sure, please sit. And he asks her, what other words did you learn? And then, okay, they start chatting. He's like a sweetie pie. Hattori is a complete sweetie pie. He's so nice to her. She walks in. He's friendly. He's accommodating. He's jovial. He's just so nice. He's just so freaking nice. And they go through this. And now he's calling, I guess, the guy in the back. Yeah? He says, we have a customer. Bring out some tea quickly. He says this in Japanese. That's why I needed these subtitles. He said, yeah, bring out the tea quickly. And the dude says, I'm watching my soap operas. Y'all. I read somewhere. Now, this was not my original idea, but I read somewhere, probably like over a decade ago, an analysis of this movie where they say that Hattori and the dude that's supposed to bring out the tea are basically a couple. Okay. Which is really interesting, is it not? He's watching his soap operas. Like, how many straight men do you know who watch soap operas? I don't know any, personally. But then again, I don't get out much. And he says, I'm watching my soap operas. And then Hattori says, lazy bastard. And he says, screw your soap opera. Hurry up. The tea's hot. And he says, why don't you serve it yourself for once? And then he says, shut up. Oh, Lord. This is cute. This exchange between Hattori and the guy who does the tea is real cute. Real cute. And he does this all in front of her. Okay. So that is what I believe. And I read what I read about Hattori and the dude being, together. I believe it. And there's a reason why I believe it. I'll get into it. There's this decoration at the end of the bar here and over here. Are these lions too? Or, like I said, what's a lion? Just a big old kitty cat. It would be interesting if it was. But, like, this exchange is going on, right? And here they are, right? Oh, yeah, this is the part. This is the important part. I will get to it. I'm going to take a little break, get a little coffee, and I'll get to it when I get back. So sit tight. And I'm back. Okay, I needed to take a pause before this because, I'm kind of centering the whole video around this. So here she is, they've just discussed. Actually, he just got done yelling at the dude to shut up and get your ass out here. And I think Beatrix says, excuse me? And he says to her, what other Japanese do you know? And she says, oh, let's see. And she says, arigato. And he says, arigato, good. And she says, I already said domo, right? And he says, yeah. 4 times. And then she says, konnichiwa. And he says, he pronounces it properly, and I don't think I can do that, but he says, konnichiwa. Okay, konnichiwa. Please repeat. And then she says, konnichiwa, and he says, perfect. Good. And he says to her, as he's, trying to flatter her and be nice, he's a nice person. At least he seems nice here, I don't know about his former life, before he abandoned weapon making and he went into the sushi business. But he says, you say Japanese word like you Japanese. That's complete flattery. And she says, oh, you're making fun of me. And he says, no. 4 times. Serious business. This is serious business. You guys, whatever's going on in this exchange between the two of them is serious business. Let me go forward a little bit. Serious business. Real serious business. And, how do you say konnichiwa? Konnichiwa. What does konnichiwa mean? I think it means thank you. Help me. Correct me if I'm wrong. Konnichiwa means thank you, and you say Japanese words like you're Japanese. Or you're making fun of me. No, 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 no. 4 no's. Serious business, pronunciation, very good. And he says, you say arigato like we say arigato. And then she says, well, thank you. I mean, arigato. And he says to her, you should learn Japanese. Very easy. And she says, no kidding. I heard it was kind of hard. Most difficult. I guess he acknowledges that it is difficult to learn. But he says to her, you have Japanese tongue. And I guess she says, okay, okay. And oh my God, I think that's him. He says, hey, I think he says to the dude, hey, what the hell happened to the tea? Hurry up, goddammit. Lazy oaf. And he comes in. Yeah, hold up. Unfortunately, these subtitles don't have timestamps, which is a little annoying, but whatever, right? And they're laughing about her, I guess, her pronunciation. And he's, fixing up a plate of sushi for her. And there it is. Well, not a plate, but oh, for goodness sake. Look at this, yo. Look it. Let me go back to that shot. Look at this. I'm convinced that these are kitty cats on the counter. But he serves her. Not a plate. I said a plate. I was wrong. A block on a wooden block. Sushi. Fish. Sushi. On a block of wood. You guys, this is serious. This is serious business here. Quentin is laying it out for you in symbols. Not with words. Symbols. Not with action. Not with dialogue. Because they don't talk about the sushi. But it's there. They don't talk about these kitty cats. But they're there. They don't talk about all the wood on the wall and the fish scales on molding. But they're there. Okay? So, this fish, raw fish, I guess sashimi or sushi or whatever, served on a wooden block. I will get to it. I don't know if I shouldn't keep you in suspense, should I? But, and they're both wearing white. Isn't this interesting? He's wearing this white, I don't know what to call it, a robe. And she's wearing a white t-shirt with some what look like Japanese characters on it. Okay. And he serves her the sushi on the wooden block, and there it is at another angle. Alright, and we have this, I guess this is an air conditioning unit on the wall. Again, wood chairs, wooden block for the sushi. These characters on wooden planks here hanging on the wall. There's the fish picture with the wooden stick frame. Okay. Alright. Now, let's get into it. This is the guy. Okay. This is the tea guy, I guess. That's what I'll call him. I don't know his name. I don't think they ever say his name. And he says, what happened to the tea? Hurry up, goddammit, lazy oaf. And he comes in and he says, what'd you want? I beg your pardon. Oh, he says that to Beatrix, what'd you want? And she says, I beg your pardon. And he says, drink. And she says, oh yes. And she says, a bottle of warm sake, please. She's very polite. She says please and thank you a lot. And Hattori says, hold on, warm sake. Yeah. Okay. Bottle of warm sake. I think, yeah. Warm sake. And he says, very good. 1 warm sake. And then the dude says, sake in the middle of the day. And Hattori says, day, night, afternoon, who gives a damn? Get the sake. And then the dude says, how come I always have to get the sake? And I guess Hattori says, you listen well. And the guy says, the dude, he says, for 30 years, you make the fish, I get the sake. And he says, if this were the military, I'd be general by now. And then Hattori says, oh, so you'd be general, huh? If you were general, I'd be emperor, and you'd still get the sake. And you'd still get the sake, so shut up and get the sake. Do you understand? And then the dude says, I'm not bald, okay? I shaved my head. And he says, do you understand me? Sorry. Uh-oh. And I guess Hattori goes back to talking to Beatrix, right? This is really cute. This is a really cute exchange. And this is them two arguing like a married couple. You know, again, I didn't come up with that. I don't remember where I read it because it was over a decade ago. But they just are married. They're arguing like they've been together forever. And the guy says 30 years, so it's been a while, hasn't it? And, you know, they have this kind of semi-violent exchange. And I think Hattori throws something at him or whatever, overpowers him in some way. And this is where he says, I am not bald, I shaved my head. So I don't know why he says that. Is that vanity or what? I'm looking at this over here too on the wall. What is this? What is this frame a picture of? Not sure, but there it is. Okay. And we're looking at all of this in between the two kitty cats. And in between the two kitty cats, I'm convinced, these are like Japanese stylized lions. And in between the two kitty cats is this large wooden counter that she's sitting at. And then the fish is being served on the wooden block. We're going to see this again. Okay, I'll just spoiler alert. We're going to see this when she trains with Pai Mei in Volume 2. When he's trying to teach her how to bust her fist through that enormous block of wood. And he has no trouble doing it, but she has trouble doing it. So this is a foreshadowing. This is, I guess, Japanese Pai Mei. I don't want to disrespect either Pai Mei or Hattori Hanzo by saying this is Japanese Pai Mei, but these are her teachers. So this is the first teacher that we see in Volume 1, Hattori, and then the second teacher will be Pai Mei in Volume 2. And again, this setup is very similar, the block of wood in between two kitty cats. Okay, so yeah, he says, I'm not bald, okay? I shaved my head. Do you understand me? Sorry, okay. And then Hattori goes back to talking to her. He's genuinely interested in her. He's genuinely interested in, like, talking to her, asking her questions, learning about her, who she is, what's up, what's going on. And now I might be having to eat my words. Maybe those are not any kind of characters on her shirt. It looks like a star. And it's red, color of blood. So she comes in here, at least visually, like marked with the color of blood. This is a blood red color on her shirt. And then look at these curtains. Or I don't know if it's a curtain or a screen, but look at all the holes. And that's what we saw, you guys. That's what we saw in the Texas hospital parking lot. All of these holes in the... I don't know what this is. Is this symbolic of the female anatomy? You know? Yeah, I think you know what I mean. We're all adults here. And, you know, he says, what brings you to Okinawa? And she says, I came to see a man. Remember? The man from Okinawa, all caps. And he says, oh, yeah? And he says, you have a friend live in Okinawa? And she says, not quite. And he says, not friend? And she says, I never met him. And Hattori says, never? Who is he? May I ask? And she says, Hattori Hanzo. Let me show you that exchange. Okay, let me show you that exchange. I'm skipping around because I have to. This is when she says who she's there to see, Hattori Hanzo. Okay, Hanzo-san. And he says, what do you want with Hattori Hanzo? Ay, ay, ay. And yeah, Sonny Chiba was just so handsome. I mean, like, seriously. This guy had a presence that you don't see every day with actors or performers. He was really quite something. And he asks her, what do you want with Hattori Hanzo? And she says, hold on. Yeah? She says in this really serious tone of voice, and I think she says it in Japanese. She says, I need Japanese steel. And Hattori says, why do you need Japanese steel? And she says, I have vermin to kill. All right? Vermin. What's vermin, you guys? Vermin, you know, rats. 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 Rodents. I mean, I guess cockroaches and like stuff like that falls into the category of vermin. Or like, doesn't have to be rats, but like just rodents in general. Like, yeah, rats, but also like gophers. I think gophers are also categorized as vermin. They're not there for a good reason. They're there to eat up all your carrots and your your vegetables, the roots of your vegetables, the roots of your trees. They will, pardon my French, but they will just fuck up your whole yard, your whole garden, all your shit. And until you get rid of them, you cannot garden in peace. Period. Okay, so she has vermin to kill. Okay? She has vermin to kill. And, oh, this damn thing. Every time. Alright, and then, Hattori says, you must have big rats if you need Hattori Hanzo's steel. And Beatrix says, huge. With this perfect face of hers. Oh my goodness. Like, they don't make faces like this every day. Like, I can see why it had to be her. I can't imagine any other actress playing this role in this movie other than Uma Thurman. She's just perfect. She's absolutely perfect for this role in every conceivable way. You must have big rats if you need Hattori Hanzo's steel. And she says, huge. Huge rats. And then they go up into the second floor, the attic, okay? And he hasn't said yes yet, but like they go up here, and this room is a lot harder to read for me personally than the room downstairs where they serve the sushi, the dining room. Like, there's not a lot of stuff here. What kind of room is this? I don't know. Like, the sushi shop, it looks kind of like dreary. It's very gray. You know, I pointed out all the wood elements. I pointed out the fish scales on the wall. I pointed out the wooden counter and the wooden chairs and the wooden frames and the wooden handles on the sushi knives. And what else? The kitty cats on the counter. But here they are getting up here into the attic. I presume this is the attic of this building. Do they sleep here? Do they just do laundry here? I see clothes hanging on hangers on the line. And here she is. This is where he keeps his swords. Okay? This is where he keeps his swords. And she's walked in. And I'm trying to figure out whether or not she's wearing shoes. I think she is. She's wearing sneakers. And they're white. Okay? And he's got the old boxes. This is an attic. And I guess it doesn't matter what culture you're in. Like, an attic is a place where you keep old stuff that you don't use on a day-to-day basis. So here she is. And now she's got her jacket on. She didn't have her jacket on downstairs when she was sitting at the bar. But now she, for whatever reason, she's put her jacket on. Okay. All right. And this is where he keeps all of his old stuff. It seems like an attic to me anyway. Very nondescript, very, it looks like a storage area. All right. And she's looking at all of these swords. And let me count them while we're here. Why not? So he's got like 3 racks of these swords of his. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and I can't really fully count the third one because it's the lower part of it is obscured. But check it out, you guys. She's looking at these swords. There's candles on each side of this center rack of swords. I don't know what those candles are for. They're there for a reason. They're on these candle stands. I see a TV in the background. Is that a TV? Is that where the dude is watching his soap operas? I don't know. But, let me digress. And hold up. Let me look. She's looking at all these swords, and I think these are candles. Oh, there's more candles. There's candles like in... Oh, no, there's more than 3 racks. There's 1, 2, 3. 4 racks that I can see in this frame. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're all different colors. The scabbards of each of them is different colors, and the handles are different colors. Sometimes they match the scabbard, sometimes they don't. Interesting. And let me go forward. He's admiring her, admiring his swords. Okay. And just a note, like he's taken the thing around his head that it was like, what was that? Like a scarf or whatever around his neck that was twisted up. And he's wearing his robe. I don't know what this is called, you guys. But look at the trim of this robe. It looks like a chain. Doesn't it? Why? Why is there a chain here? What is that alluding to? Is this a common element in Japanese men's clothing? Like this is this a symbol that's used often? Or is there another, I don't know. I don't know what to think of this, but it's there. It's very obviously there on his clothing. So I won't try to interpret it, but I did want to point it out. Okay. And look at the wooden floor, you guys. And like I said, wood is very important in this movie. And she's looking at the swords. And she is just fascinated by them. She's mesmerized by them. And behind the swords, the racks for the swords are made of wood, sticks of wood. So the swords are resting on racks that are made of wood. And behind these racks, this wall is very obviously wood planks that the wall is made up of. Okay? I keep telling you, wood is extremely important in this movie. And yes, I will tell you why. Maybe not now, but at some point in my analysis of this movie, in my kind of observational analysis, breakdown of what I see in this movie visually, whether it's objects that you can see with your eyes or that you can see in your mind's eye when you look at stuff like the dialogue. Okay, and here we are at this point. She's looking at this, and especially this one with the red on it. Red is the color of blood. Red is a life, or rather, blood is a life force. Okay, she zeroes in on this one. For some reason, she likes it. Is it because of the color? I would say probably. And she reaches out, and she asks Hattori, may I? And I think he says, as you can see down here, he says, you may. Okay. Wow. This is like if you watch this movie, please watch this movie and pay attention to the music being played during the scene. It's a very kind of otherworldly, ethereal, pretty music. All right. I don't know why that's there. It's setting the mood for the scene. This is like this exchange is taking place between Beatrix and Hattori that is largely unspoken. Like they were talking about, like, speaking Japanese and pronouncing Japanese words correctly in the downstairs area when she just walked in and he didn't know who she was yet. And she didn't tell him, like, why she was there yet. What does he say? I'm going back. This dialogue thing down here is awesome. I love this. Love it. Hold on. Sake, sake, drink, drink, pardon, pardon, lazy oaf, lazy oaf. Hold on. Japanese tongue. Like I said, serious business. You say Japanese words like, okay, konnichiwa. Konnichiwa is thank you. Okay? Konnichiwa. He says, perfect. Good, good, good. You say Japanese word like you're Japanese. She says, oh, you're making fun of me. He says, no, 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 no. Four times. Serious business. Serious business. Pronunciation. Pronunciation very good. You say arigato like we say arigato. And she says, thank you. Well, I mean, arigato. So thank you. What's serious business? Ah, this damn thing. Serious business. Saying thank you. Saying thank you is serious business. Okay? Y'all? Interesting, no? Yeah, I think it's very interesting how the way you say thank you in Japanese. In Japan, in Japanese culture, I assume this extends to the culture, is serious business. Okay? And she's taken up the sword and she's unsheathing the sword, and you see the steel. And there's usually like a symbol here. She's going to put one there for the one he makes for her, right? And that symbol is Hattori letting the new owner of the sword that he's made know what he thinks they are symbolically. Now she's looking at this blade, absolutely beautiful, and she sees her own eyes reflected in the blade of this. I think it's called a katana, right? Katana, katana, sword. Interesting. Interesting. At least to me, it's interesting. Like, there's a lot going on in the scene. Like I said, downstairs they were talking about words and how to pronounce things and how, saying thank you is serious business. Words are serious business. The way you communicate is serious business. Okay, here she is. All right. And she asks him, may I, which means, may I look at the swords or touch them? And he says, you may. And he says, wait. And that when she picks the one with the red handle, that's the one he tells her to pick. Try the second one down. That's the one with the red handle. And he says, funny, you like samurai swords. I like baseball. And then where's the damn thing? Oh, hold on. Ugh. Yeah, he says, I like baseball. And baseball, you guys. Why does he say that? He says to her, you like samurai swords. I like baseball. And I know Japanese people like baseball. I know it's kind of like really popular over there. But that's not what he means. Let me just play you like a second of this. This is just the only part of the thing that I'll play God, please help me. Yeah, there's the baseball. Okay. And then he says, I like baseball. Yep, that's what I wanted you to see. Okay, so she's ready. She's ready. The baseball is white and it's got red stitching on it. Yeah, I know Japanese people love baseball, or that's what I've heard. That's what I've come to understand. But this baseball is not about baseball. This baseball that she cuts in half with the sword, that's not about the game of baseball, literally. It's about what should I call it? Baseball as a euphemism for what? What do you think? What do you think baseball is a euphemism for? At least the way it's being used, the way I believe it's being used in this movie. I think it's being used as a euphemism for sex. First base, second base, third base, home run. Yeah. Yeah. And we're dealing with gender here. We are. Hattori is very possibly, together with the guy downstairs. And there's a reason for that. I hope I don't forget to tell you what I think the reason is for that. And he's like kind of, he's kind of impressed by her skills, which who wouldn't be? Like her reaction time, she cut that baseball clear in half. Okay. And he says, I wanted to show you these, right? However, someone as you who knows so much must surely know I no longer make instruments of death. Okay? This is what he says to her. What I have here, I keep for their aesthetic and sentimental value. So he's given up. He's turned away from his former life of being a sword maker, a weapon maker. Okay? Instruments of death, he calls them. I keep for their aesthetic and sentimental value. Yet, proud as I am of my life's work, I have retired. And, he's turned away from being the best sword maker on planet Earth who makes the best swords on planet Earth. Oh, this freaking thing. Okay. And that's why he has to be gay. In the world of this movie, that's why he has to be. All right? Because in order to be the best sword maker of the best swords on planet Earth, he has to know swords very well. Not just on the giving end, but also on the receiving end, if you know what I mean. Okay? Swords are... Oh, what is this? What is this? Lord. Okay, swords are phallic symbols. Okay? Watchers, viewers, listeners, swords are phallic symbols. And I think that's the only symbol that I have, openly revealed that is obvious in this movie, the phallic symbolism of the swords. And who but a gay man would know more about dicks and dickery? And who would also have, those skills, that experience, that would inform his creation of the best swords on planet Earth. All right, that's why he has to be of that orientation. And he says, yet proud as I am of my life's work, I have retired. Okay, he for whatever reason, Hattori realized that making weapons was a dishonorable thing to do. And he renounced that life, his former life as a sword maker, a weapon maker, a maker of instruments of death. So what did he do? He retired. This is his retirement. He makes sushi. He makes sushi in a teensy-weensy little shop in Okinawa, Japan, in a dining room where there's plenty of wood, and there's the kitty cats on the wooden counter. Okay, and he makes sushi. Now I've told you, but I might as well just tell you, and I won't keep you in suspense any longer. Okay, so phallic symbols. The sword, any blade, even the knives that he uses to make the sushi, those are phallic symbols. The dagger that Beatrix used to kill Renita, phallic symbol, a small one, but it's a phallic symbol. Okay. And so what's the opposite? I think I've said this prior in one of my other videos. So what's the opposite of a phallic symbol? You might have to look this up, or you can just hear it from me, the opposite of a phallic symbol is a yonic symbol. So phallic symbol stands for the phallus, the male body part. Yonic symbol stands for the yoni, the female body part. Okay, what's a female body part? What's a euphemism for a female body part? Well, since we're dealing with a gay man, here, what do they call women? Sometimes it's a derogatory term, sometimes it's not. I don't know, but they call women fish. So Hattori turned away from a life of making instruments of death, phallic symbols, to a life of preparing the instruments, I guess, of giving life and birth. Fish. Vaginas. This is his way of atoning and making amends. And this, I don't know, I don't think he's paying a penance. He doesn't seem miserable. But this is his way of counteracting and maybe possibly trying to neutralize all those years of making instruments of death, things that kill people. He's turned to a life of making things that give life rather than death, like the female body part, the vagina. Fish. Okay. But in order to make sushi, I mean, you need to cut up that fish. So, I mean, even like somebody with a rudimentary knowledge of sushi and sashimi making knows that those knives are really important. And they have to be really awesome knives, and they have to be really sharp. And who better than him? I bet he makes the best sushi knives ever, right? So, he says, where is this? Oh, yes. As proud as I am of my work, I have retired to a life of preparing fish. Okay. And then Beatrix says, yeah, she tries to use her feminine wiles again. And she did that the second she walked in. She was playing dumb, and she was being like kind of bimbo-ish and whatever. And she says, well, okay, then give me one of these, she says to him. Right? And he takes the sword from her, puts it back in its scabbard. And there's like a very particular way of doing that, of sliding it back into the scabbard. And she says, he says, I have retired. She says, then give me one of these. If he doesn't make swords any longer, then give me one of these. And he says, these are not for sale. And she says, I didn't say sell me. And she gets a little haughty in this part of it. She says, I didn't say sell me. I didn't say I was going to buy one. I said, give me one. And he said, she says, I didn't say sell me. I said, give me. And again, this is a woman, Beatrix's character. She's a product of her environment, where she uses her appearance, her beauty, her sex appeal, probably as both a weapon and as a sort of currency. So, I mean, that's the cliche that beautiful women are kind of handed everything in life. And Beatrix is aware of that, at the very least, and uses that to her advantage. And she says, no, I didn't say sell me. I said give me. She's probably been handed plenty of things, just simply based on the fact that she's pretty. But that's not going to work with Hattori. He doesn't give a shit about her being pretty. He is not into that. And I already explained why. So that's not going to work on him. Maybe some other man, but not him. And he says, why should I help you? She doesn't have anything he wants. I think you know what I mean when I say that. He says, why should I help you? And she says, well, she stops with the bimbo act completely. And she says, well, because my vermin is a former student of yours. And considering the student, I'd say you have a rather large obligation. Okay. So at this part of the movie, she hasn't said Bill's name. She hasn't said Bill's name. This is when her telling, look at her face. She twists up her face. And she said, she says, considering the student, I think you have a rather large obligation. Ooh, she sneers when she says that, And then he's like, oh my God, is she talking about you know who? And then he goes to this fogged up window. I don't know why it's fogged up. Like, is it very humid in Okinawa? I've never been there. But he goes over here and with his finger, right? With his finger, he writes Bill's name. Bill. Okay? So, again, they haven't said his name. Beatrix didn't say his name. Hattori didn't say Bill's name. And again, look at the wood on the walls, and the wood framing the window, and the wood framing the name he just wrote in the fogged up. I don't know what to call this. It's not frost. Is it just? I don't know what. I know the word in another language, but I don't know the word for this film on the windows in English. Bill, and the way he dots his I here. Interesting. Don't know quite what to make of it, but there it is. And then he says to her, she says, I'd say you have a rather large obligation. And then he writes Bill's name in the fogged up window. And he says to her, you can sleep here in this attic. Wow. And he says, it'll take me a month to make the sword. I suggest you spend it practicing. All right, so, like, both of them know Bill. I mean, I think in some places I've heard or read that, like, Hattori was even a father figure of sorts to Bill. And it looks like Hattori is, like, he has a moral dilemma about that. Or not a dilemma, but, like, he's ashamed of his former life. So he does a complete 180. He turns totally away from, well, not totally, but as far away as he possibly can from phallic symbols to yonic symbols, from swords to fish. Okay? And he's doing it to atone for the sins of his past life as a weapons maker. Now, where are we here? This red balling is tedious. And he goes back down out, exits the attic. So he's having her sleep in the attic, which is interesting. He says, I suggest you spend it practicing. So they both know how deadly and how powerful Bill is. This is not a mystery. And here she comes up to where he just wrote Bill's name, and she wipes it out with her sleeve. I guess that's why she needed to wear the jacket for this scene. With her sleeve. And then, 1 month later, he says, I suggest you spend it practicing. And there's something I want to talk about, but first I want to get through this, right? Here it is. The sword ceremony. And I think they're back in the attic. I could be wrong. I don't know what these things are hanging from what is this, a beam of some kind? Are these like paper squiggly things? And like, if they're paper squiggly things, what are they? I don't know what they are. I want to know what they are. They look like zigzag things. Zigzag squiggly things. Are they streamers? I don't know. And if anybody does know, please tell me. This kind of stuff like bugs me. It keeps me up at night trying to figure out what it is. But here he is. This is the sword presentation ceremony that they're doing. Here's Hattori. Here's the tea guy. All right, the dude. And look at the candles. 2 candles. I guess that's what the candles are for, huh? For special occasions. I was saying, like, what are those candles for in the attic? And this is her symbol. It's a cat. Not just any cat. It's a lion. Like I said, What's a lion? It's just a big old kitty cat. That's all it is. Big old ferocious, carnivorous kitty cat. Okay? So here we are. He's chosen her symbol for her. It's the lion. And I think the sword maker is the one who chooses your symbol. I don't think you get to choose. But correct me if I'm wrong. All right? And he says a few words, as he's presenting this sword to Beatrix. And he handles this sword with great reverence, even though he's sworn that he would never make swords again, never make an instrument of death ever again. He's doing it because why is Hattori making this sword, even though he swore an oath that he would never do it again? Because this sword is special, because it's okay for, why can't I talk? He thinks that this sword is an okay sword to make because it will take out the problem, the villain, the no-goodnik, the demon, Bill. Okay? And I'll get down to the dialogue in a second. Or not the dialogue, but he says a speech, right? Hold up. I suggest you suspend it. Okay, that was the last thing he said in the attic. And then a month later, here he is. He says, I've completed doing what I swore an oath to God 28 years ago to never do again. I have created, in quotes, something that kills people. And in that purpose, I was a success. Wow. This is like heavy. This is a really heavy monologue that Hattori delivers here, or Sonny Chiba delivers here. I've done this because philosophically, I am sympathetic to your aim. The aim is to kill Bill. That's what the movie is called, Kill Bill. I can tell you with no ego, this is my finest sword. If on your journey you should encounter God, God will be cut. Yellow-haired warrior, go. I'm just getting chills reading this, y'all. I am getting chills reading this, and it's even better when he says it. He recites his monologue in Japanese with that voice of his, and it's just pure. It's perfection. It's perfection. But anyway, 19. Okay, and this is the speech. He's doing this. He's delivering his words here. This is his guy, and the dude has tears in his eyes. This is like really serious business. This is serious business. Serious business. I keep saying that over and over again because I want you to hear me. I want you to know that this is serious business, and this is very emotionally heavy. And his, partner is choked up emotionally, listening to Hattori say what he has to say about this. Okay, this is serious business. I emphasize the word business. I emphasize the word business. And this guy holds the scabbard while Hattori puts the sword back into its scabbard, right? So he's assisting. He's not complaining about being an assistant here, like he was complaining downstairs about getting the tea and getting the sake. And hold up. There it is. He puts the sword back in its scabbard. He's reciting what he has to say, right? And he gives her the sword. He says, if on your journey you should encounter God, God will be cut. Yellow-haired warrior. Now, like I said, I was told, hey David, that Japanese people just don't like blondes. They don't like people with yellow hair. I don't know why. David told he said it was like they consider it like the redheaded stepchild kind of thing. Like nobody wants them around. No disrespect to any redheaded stepchildren out there, but this is an important part of his speech. I can tell you with no ego, this is my finest sword. Okay, so he worked extra hard. He did the best that Hattori Hanzo, the best sword maker of the best swords on planet Earth in the world of this movie, he did the best that he's ever done. He said, I can tell you with no ego. So he's not bragging. No. But he's saying, this is my finest sword. If on your journey you should encounter God, God will be cut. Yellow-haired warrior, go. And she says, Domo. Domo. And she says it very beautifully. Why is he talking about God? That's a very serious thing to say. If on your journey you should encounter God, God will be cut. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know, because, I'm not going to keep you in suspense. Like with The Shining, I have to keep you in suspense as I do each 3-minute segment, because I don't want to get ahead of myself. I get a little bit ahead of myself when I'm doing my coffee or rum breaks, when I'm, reading your guys' comments. But as far as like the way I'm going to do that movie, the way I've been doing it, the way I'm going to continue doing it, so help me God, I'm going to keep doing it the same way for The Shining, because I need to stick to that 3-minute segment and not get ahead of myself. I'm going to do, again, analysis like outside of the segments of the Understanding the Shining series. But when I'm doing the series, I need to stick to those 3 minutes, and that's it. Here, I can play a little bit. I can tell you with no ego, I'm repeating this again. This is my finest sword. If on your journey you should encounter God, God will be cut. Yellow-haired warrior, go. Okay. Why is he mocking God? Basically, with that statement, Hattori is mocking God. He's saying, if on your journey you should encounter God, God will be cut. Like, that's impossible. If God exists, and if God is as powerful as we've been led to believe, there's no way that Beatrix Kiddo is gonna cut God with her little sword. And this goes back to my theory. They wrote his name on the window pane and then wiped it out in the attic. Bill. What does Bill stand for? Money. That character is a walking, talking personification of money. Whatever form it takes, it doesn't matter if it's dollar bills, if it's credit cards, if it's zeros on a bank account, if it's, what is that shit they're doing now? Bitcoin, crypto, whatever. It doesn't matter what form the money takes. Rum, like I talked about in one of my videos, like where's the damn thing? Hold up. Where is it? Oh yeah, what the hell is red rum? Rum was a currency. Back in the day. Way back in the day. So Bill, whatever his last name is, we don't know. Ooh, Quentin, you sneaky man. Okay, so Bill is named Bill, like Dollar Bill. His brother is named Bud. I'm not sure what to think of that. But the dude in the hospital, the orderly, the bedpan emptier, Buck. Yeah, that sleazy no good Nick, Buck. Buck is yet another word for money, isn't it? It's $1. A buck is $1. Okay? So I'm not altogether wrong. I know it in my heart of hearts, deep down within me. I know that my theory about this movie, what is Beatrix really trying to kill? Not a man, not a villain, not the leader of the Deadly Viper Assassination Squad. No, she's trying to kill the root of all evil, which is money. And money is what comes first, you guys, in history. I'm not sure. I'm gonna offer this up to you, and you let me know in the comments. Like, what do you think? What came first in history? Money or weapons? I think it's money. But then, like, weapons kind of came a little bit after it, because you need weapons to protect the money. Whatever form the money takes, whether it's dollar bills, credit cards, zeros on a bank account, crypto, Bitcoin, stocks, what is it? Spirits, alcohol, rum, salt. That's how we get the word salary. That's what money was back in, the Roman Empire. Salary, salt. People would get paid in salt. Doesn't matter what form it takes. It's a way of controlling people. It's a way of controlling people and making them do what they wouldn't do if it weren't for the money, if it weren't for the fear of being poor and dying alone and hungry and, on the street or whatever. Money is the root of all evil. That's what we've been told. That's what they say. Unfortunately, the people who say that, many of the people who say that money is the root of all evil, are quite evil themselves and have quite a lot of money themselves. So, never mind all that. But again, this is interesting too. This is a mirror. This is a mirror of the scene downstairs in the sushi dining room, right? When they meet, he's on one side of the counter, she's on the other side of the counter. This thing between them, covered with the white sheet, is where the sword was resting. Okay, now the sword, she's picked it up and given it to her. But when they were downstairs, it's kind of like that little block of wood where he served her the sushi, the yonic symbol, like fish, right? Interesting. Let me go back for a second and see. I want to count the candles. I want to count the candles. Oh, there's 4 of them. I knew it. I got caught up on these little paper streamers. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Mm-hmm. Yep. And Beatrix she's honored, as she should be. Oh, okay. Hold up. I guess that's the end of it, isn't it? Okay. And she says to him, Domo. Okay. So I don't know what Domo means. Help me. Okay, Domo. Is it like, does Domo arigato mean like, thank you very much? Or like, what part of it is, help me, Japanese speakers. I would appreciate that so very, very much. And he says, look at this. He says, Hattori says, I've done this because philosophically I am sympathetic to your aim. He's a weapons maker who got sick of making weapons. And again, they're in Okinawa. Okinawa is like military weapons, yes. And he's a weapons maker, the best of the best of the best ever, as far as swords go anyway, phallic symbols. And he got sick of it. He started hating himself for being the best sword maker on planet Earth, being the best maker of instruments of death on planet Earth, and he turned away from that and started serving up fish to counter the bad that he felt that he did by making weapons and things that killed people. And the root of all of that evil, philosophically, is money. There's a different way to live. We've been told we need it. Do we really? I don't know. These are big, difficult questions to ask and think about, but that's why we're here, isn't it? If God, why did I keep saying God? Well, why is it so important when, in my opinion, he says, I can tell you with no ego, this is my finest sword. If on your journey you should encounter God, God will be cut. God will be cut. Yellow-haired warrior. And that's why that's one reason why her symbol is a lion. Lions are, they're blonde. Or they look blonde anyway. God will be cut. God will be cut. If you should encounter God, God will be cut. What's on the money? What's written on American money? Money from the United States. In God we trust. If on your journey you should encounter God, God will be cut. Yep, this is what I believe. This is what I believe is going on. In God we trust is written on the money. Money is the root of all evil. Bill is, yes, a man's name, short for William, but a bill is another word for paper, currency, dollar bills. And like I said, buck is the cheap version. Bill is the more expensive version. You guys, I don't know if I've done a good enough job with this one. Lord Jesus. But this is a very touching, moving, like emotionally serious part of the movie, the volume 1. And like, I'm going to name this serious business. We're dealing with serious business here. Business, God, bill, money. Okay, business usually has to do with money, doesn't it? I think it does. Anyway, you all, I think I've done like everything I can do with this part of the of volume 1, the man, capital A, capital M, capital A, capital N, the man from Okinawa. Y'all, I'm going to put this in the description if you want to look through this again and check out all the different characters and all the stuff they've written for each one. If you want to look up, where's Hattori? Oh Lord, he's in here somewhere. If you click on the man from Okinawa, you're gonna find Hattori. You're gonna find information about Hattori, or as much as we can know about him from the movie. So check that out, you guys. Check it out. And the number 4 is being repeated over and over and over again in Hattori's sushi shop, his attic, his home. I'm telling you, that's the number of death. And I told you about the blades, the phallic symbols, the fish, and so on and so forth. 121. Okay, 1 plus 2 plus 1 equals 4. Y'all, let me know if I have forgotten anything. Yeah? Oh, Lord Jesus. There's 4 knives on the wall. Oh, my God. Why am I so good at this? Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it like you wouldn't believe. I appreciate any and all comments, even the rude ones. I'll just delete them eventually, but okay, if I can't deal with a little criticism, then am I here for serious business? Yes, I am. I am here for serious business. I have a job to do. I'm on my own little journey here with Kill Bill and The Shining and eventually Full Metal Jacket and other movies too. Just like hang tight, you guys. If on your journey you should encounter God, God will be cut. Yellow-haired warrior, go. Okay, you guys, I'll leave you with that. Thank you once again. Going to reiterate my church announcements. New viewers, thank you for being new. Returning viewers, thank you for returning. Subscribers, thank you for subscribing. And all of you, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos if you know anybody who might enjoy this nonsense. I would appreciate it so much. It would help me out a lot. Let me know. Also, don't forget, if you feel compelled to do so, please leave a comment. Please try to be respectful. I'm sounding a lot like O-Ren, but yeah, please try to be respectful if you can. If you can't, then maybe don't leave a comment at all. That is an option. But other than that, I'm done. Oh my God, it's an hour and 38, almost 39 minutes. So I've taken up a good amount of your time. So you guys, once again, thank you. And until next time, until the next video where I find yet another reason to talk at you, I'm going to go ahead and bid you bye-bye. So, bye-bye, everybody.